Hello and welcome to Restore 2022. Today we are reading from the first book of Samuel, chapters 23 and 24. David is still living as a fugitive in run for his life. Saul is continuing to be paranoid and wanting to kill David, and he's following him. And it looks like Saul is getting information where David is, and is going there, and probably not just on time. And we're going to see today in chapter 24 that actually he catches up with him, really. But before we go to chapter 24, chapter 23, we've got a changed David, I think, because he has accepted the faults in deceiving Ahimelech. He's accepted the fault that actually the reason why those priests are killed is because of David's doing. And from this tragic episode, David has learned the lesson actually to depend on God and not take the matters into his own hands. And he's depending on God now as he's trying to escape from Saul. Psalm 56, Psalm 142 are good psalms that kind of link together with these two chapters. But in this chapter 23, David turns to this priest, the only remaining priest, Abiathar, and he actually is the one who possesses the sacred ephod, and he inquires of the Lord. And actually, in that, he is following God's guidance to save the city of Keilah from the Philistine invaders. And also by going to Keilah, he's also escaping Saul's, and he's just fled again from a place to a place in wilderness of Ziph. There is a starking contrast here between Saul, who killed the servants of the Lord, and David, who is listening. He is wanting to cooperate with Abiathar. And then we see how Saul is continuing to pursue David into the region of En-Gedi. And again, there were many caves there, and this is one of those interesting stories where we read in the scriptures that Saul goes into one of these caves as a king to relieve himself. And David and his men are in the back of the same cave. This is an opportunity for David to take the matter in his hands. This is another landmark in David's life that he trusts God, even though he's urged by his people to kill him, to take his life. But actually, David chooses to trust God's providence. Later on, we see that even in doing that, David regrets, because he was very serious about understanding who God's anointed was. But having said that, once the king leaves the cave, David calls out to him and shows him the ham as an evidence of his innocent intentions towards the king. Now, Saul admits his sin. He admits that he's paranoid, and his pursuit of David is unnecessary. But also he confesses with his own mouth that David is king. Join us tomorrow as we continue with reading the book of 1 Samuel.